Is it possible that something is about to happen in the financial markets that we are not yet aware of? What isn't visible in today's data? Hi. If you're wondering how to protect yourself or your assets, and you're wondering what to do about geopolitical disruptions, you are in the right place. Last week, I spoke with one of the largest family offices in Switzerland about its investment plans for 2026. The overall economic outlook they shared was very positive, both for Europe, US, and for the global economy. At the same time, one message comes through very clearly. There is still significant uncertainty about how financial markets may react to the evolving geopolitical situation. What does this mean? It means that while there are solid arguments that financial markets still have growth potential, significant downturn could nevertheless occur, not necessarily because of rising debt levels in major economies like the United States, but rather as a consequence of military conflict or a crisis that accelerates the globalization. Are stock markets declines possible today in this context? Absolutely. There are plenty of signals pointing in that direction. Could a situation similar to the one during COVID period occur again? Let us recall what it looked like. At this moment, you can see a slide showing the declines in the Dow Jones Index. We had Black Monday with an almost 8% drop, Black Thursday with 10% drop, and then another Black Monday with 13% drop. All of this took place in March 2020. This is what the Dow Jones chart looks like from 2017 through December 2020. Do current global events point to the possibility of such declines? I don't know. None of us has a crystal ball. But this reminds me of a conversation I had with a bank in Switzerland during the COVID period. One of the clients suddenly began placing orders to sell his assets. It was the beginning of 2020. COVID in China was already known. A bank representative asked him directly, "Why are you selling your assets? Do you know something that others do not?" The answer was very simple. "I don't know what will happen, but I work in the Asian market and I see movements that I do not understand. Something is happening that I do not fully grasp. That is why I decided to sell everything." That client benefited from his decision when the markets later fell by several dozen %. And did everyone lose? Not at all. COVID also created opportunities for those who entered the market when panic set in. Some investors earned as much as 30% in a relatively short period. Could something like this happen again in 2026? I don't know. None of us does. Ultimately, each person is responsible for their own actions and investment decisions. I can imagine you have entrusted your assets to JP Morgan or any financial institution you have in mind. And now you are probably wondering how to act when your money is being managed by professionals. Here I'd like to share another anecdote. In September 11th, 2001, the exact moment when the first tower of the World Trade Center collapsed in New York. By coincidence, at that moment the world learned of this event, I was on the phone with my colleague from a bank in Switzerland. The bank immediately convened a crisis management team, and my colleague had to end the call at once. The following day, when we spoke about the decision they have made, I heard, "As usual, we decided to do nothing." He may have even used a somewhat unflattering term suggesting that Swiss banks are rigid or conservative. But so are international or American banks in case of crisis. And when things collapse, they collapse. It's something that must be endured. Sooner or later, the market recovers. You just have to look at the history. It is, however, wiser to prepare for certain scenarios. If there are indications that something is happening in the world, and we do have such examples, then it's important to reassess your investment position, whether you've set aside 1 million or several tens of millions. There are many reasons for this and plenty of evidence as well. As you can see, this is no longer just about the crisis in Ukraine or Palestine. One can point to ferment or manipulation in Iran or to recent events in Venezuela. Is this all a coincidence? Will everything calm down soon? Do you really think so? This is not about spreading fear. Fear is not good at all. It's about making sure you are protected, you are prepared. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of speaking with a client who runs a business in Asia. Asia again. I will tell you about it soon, but in the meantime, subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. In his view of my client, unusual movements have begun to emerge. Chinese companies are selling off on a large-scale machinery of American origin. These are substantial assets, some of them individually valued at $100 or $150 million. What could be causing the Chinese, who place such a strong emphasis on developing their own economy, to suddenly liquidate the assets of their own enterprises on such a scale? This client decided to immediately allocate the majority of his assets to gold and other commodities out of financial markets. What's the conclusion from all this? We are in a very dynamic time today. Check your wallet and see if it's prepared for the coming year. It's January 2026. And remember, it is your decision what you do today and how you prepare yourself. If you need support or you want to relocate your assets to Europe, please call.